Hello. Sorry to bother you. Can I ask you a slightly odd question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm making a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, where essentially I talk to people I don't know on benches for 10 or 15 minutes. Are you up for that? Do you want to give it a go? Is there a day of the week that you favour?
Oh, I'd have to be, yeah. I know, I was going to say Friday or Saturday. Friday because it's like Christmas Eve. I've grown to love Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve is the day before Christmas.
Oh.
So Friday is like that because it's the day before Saturday. So I think Friday is a favourite day. But also Sunday's become a favourite day. From being, as a child, my least favourite day by far because obvious reasons of
School and whatnot.
school next day. Hated school.
Why do you hate school?
Well, I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very good at learning. I wasn't very good at concentrating.
Doesn't sound like the place for you.
No.
Where should you have gone?
Well, I suppose school would have been fine if it was more kind of designed towards the arts, you know, and smaller classes and less strict and more books and more painting and more playing and more sports rather than all the shit that we had to learn. I learnt more when I left school than I did before.
Yeah.
Because when I left school, I could hardly read. I went away to drama school when I was 20. Well, first of all, I went to a youth theatre right at the end of school. My mum forced me to join a local youth theatre. I reckon that was when my education started.
She forced you.
Yeah, she did.
Why did you need forcing? You weren't into it.
Yeah, I wasn't interested. But my mum ran a youth club, so she knew the geezer that ran the local youth theatre. And I'd done a few plays at school just to get out of class. I quite liked it. Anyway, she saw something that I didn't see or kind of thought...
What was that?
I don't know, maybe that I could do it. Maybe she had a plan. Because she got it right, because I ended up becoming an actor. So she definitely...
Good old mum.
Good old mum, mate, absolutely.
Always trust mother.
Yeah, I never really kind of got it, how a stroke of genius that it was. Because I really was going nowhere.
Did you thank her?
Yeah, and I also thanked her by her coming to see me in shows and seeing me on telly. And so she was probably as proud of mum as you can get. I was in The Lion King for a while, and she used to come down. She lived in North Wales.
The stage show?
Yeah. So she used to come down quite a lot and see it. And I used to put her virtually in the same place at the front of the circle. So I always knew where she was. And I'd always bow to her, you know.
Yeah.
I could see how marvellous she thought this whole thing was. So it was pretty poetic. It was pretty nice, you know.
Do you remember what she said to you to persuade you to go in the first place?
Well, it really was forcing it. I'd got tickets to a football match on the Saturday, and on the Friday there was a youth theatre meeting, and she literally took the ticket and said, "You're not going tomorrow, I've got the ticket. The deal is, you go tonight, and then when you've been, tomorrow morning, I'll give you the ticket, you go to the football." I went, wow, you know what I mean? I wasn't too chuffed with that behaviour. Anyway, she had me over a barrel, so off I went. I didn't particularly enjoy it. Then the next week, there was somebody that we knew that was in the sixth form, I pretty much looked up to, was in the youth theatre, and I didn't know this. His name was Dewi Hughes. Very funny and charming and handsome and talented. Anyway, I said, "I'm not going, Mum." He said, "It's too late. Dewi's going to pick you up. He's outside the door now. I'm not going to send him away. He's in his car, he's picking you up and you're going." And I went, "Mum, you've done it again." Sure enough, I remember it was a white Marina estate. I think it was his dad's. Off we went. And then I was given a part, and I was kind of like embroiled. I'd be letting the side down, and I really began to enjoy it. More than anything else, I began to enjoy the people. It was the theatre people.
What was it about theatre people that you enjoyed?
a freedom. You know, arty people I was kind of find more interesting than...
Who were you hanging around with before that? I mean, was that
I just mates at school. I mean, I had good friends and stuff, but it was a bit different.
your
you
crowd?
know?
Suddenly you found your people.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. They were extraordinary. The girls were funny and gorgeous and charming and cool. The boys were funny, poised, there was just something about all this. There was something about the youth theatre that I really liked. There was a geezer there who became my best friend, like no other friend that I'd had previous. And before I knew it, I was totally in love with the theatre. I ended up doing loads of things backstage, working on Welsh National Opera, Ballet Rambert, just brilliant. So I had this life of theatre, you know, where I worked during the day and then rehearsed during the night and did shows. And then I got a job with the Theatre Clwyd, playing the pantomime cat. And then I thought, well, I better go to drama school and learn how to do this properly. So I came to London, went to RADA. So that was that, really. That was me, mum.
Wow, mum, eh?
Yeah, good old mum. Amazing, really, that she did that for me.
Has there been any moments in life when you've gone, oh, I wish my mother didn't do, you know, any painful?
No.
You've been happy the whole way through?
Yeah, really, even when, because there's been lean years, you know.
What do you do in a lean year?
Read, watch telly, see friends, go back home.
Where's home?
Well, home as in where I was brought up is North Wales.
What was a kind of typical Sunday like in your hometown growing up?
Oh, well, when I was tiny, it would be Sunday school, which was awful.
Why?
I just couldn't see the point. I knew that religion wasn't going to get me. I knew it was...
What, straight off?
Yeah, I knew it was...
Age
like,
what?
Tiny, you know, like 6 or 7. I was like...
Not for me.
It certainly wasn't for me, and I certainly didn't believe. To me, it was the same as Father Christmas, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy.
Did you believe in Father Christmas? Longer than you believed in Jesus?
No, not for very long, no. But, you know, in the morning, you know, it was pretty much dicking about with my brothers and my sister. Mum would cook a roast, which was always fabulous.
Another win by mum there.
Another win by mum, yeah. Mum was
relentless victories from mother.
Mum was pretty special. Still
Where's
didn't like
Dad?
Sundays.
Who's Dad?
Dad was there. Dad was very present.
Not mentioned yet.
No, bless. Sorry, Dad. There was nothing wrong with Dad. Dad was all right, but he just wouldn't have said, look, you're going to the youth theatre. He was there to back you up and stuff. He was a good man, you know. But he hadn't got the vision like Mum had, you know, for me at least.
Did she do this for your siblings as well? Was it just you?
Just me, I suppose. My brothers were maybe doing a little bit better than me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you needed a bit of a boost?
Oh, yeah. I worried. No, she was worried about me because I was, you know, getting into trouble, getting into fights. Bit of a tearaway, I suppose. And then she had a light bulb moment, my mum did, and forced me to join the youth theatre, bless her.
Because of this act that she did for you, have you been keen to do similar acts for other people?
Oh, good question. No, and I think I could probably do. I probably could do more with my life to inspire and help others, I think. I've turned my back a little bit on the theatre. You know, I'm 63 now, and I do more in the way of voiceovers and TV, really. I haven't done theatre since before COVID. So I have plenty of time on my hands, and I have thought locally about joining a youth theatre or something, and just to help out, you know, or to direct, or just to be because I think I could contribute. So I think I'm ready to volunteer in something, actually. You can always help, can't you?
Completely.
You can always help.
Totally right.
And I'm quite lazy, so I come down here and open a book and chew the fat with folk and watch the boats and stuff. When I kind of think, you know, do something a little bit more useful.
I mean, the boats are quite interesting.
Isn't it great? I could sit and watch for hours.
Could you describe what is in front of us?
There's about 1, 2, well, I'll count them. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 small little sailing boats and a dinghy out there which looks after them. Oh, there's also two paddle boarders, 3 paddle boarders. But they go around 4 buoys. There's a little track that they do. And it's pretty calm, so they're going pretty slowly. But it's beautiful to watch. And it's clouded over, so there's a kind of like a metallicness to the sea. The sky looks pretty dramatic, like at any minute now there could be quite heavy rain.
Good description.
God, good.
What does it all make you feel when you look at it?
Calm and hi.
Picture? Are you in the middle of something?
I am. Nice to see you.
Pictures are there until tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'll go and see them tomorrow.
Grand. Good to
I
see you.
will.
Sorry for
Nice to see you.
interrupting.
It's all right,
Don't worry.
mate. It's
Take
all right.
care.
Take care, mate. Lovely fella. Nurse he is. What's his name? Damn, Greg.
Known
And
Greg
he's-
for a while.
Just along here, that's one of the beauties of this, is that you get to know folk. He stopped like you did and said, can I take your picture? He's a nurse, but his number one hobby is taking pictures of local people, and he's really good at it. And then we've been pals since.
How do you feel
Really
about
nice.
having your picture taken?
I like it.
What do you think about your face?
I like it less and less. As I get older, people say, you look good. And I go, yeah, but old, wrinkly and old, and grey whiskers as opposed to black whiskers. But yeah, fine, really. Hell, I've not got that much of an ego anymore, really. I don't really give a damn.
When did it go?
Quite late, later than I'd have liked.
Really?
Being an actor, you're kind of like,
You have to keep your head in the ego game.
yeah, you don't have to.
But you did.
I did, yeah. I'm only just beginning
Oh, really?
to feel like I'm dropping my ego, my competitiveness and my.
What is emerging in the space?
Don't know. Hopefully, a calmer, more of a listener, more of a.
Lover?
That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. I met a French girl
when?
a couple of months ago.
That's exciting.
Her name was Virginie, and she's really lovely, and she's hopefully coming over this week. But she's done this before. Said, I'm coming over. I'm coming over. Can you meet me? And I was like, yeah, great. And she never came.
And she's coming again. But she might not.
Is she? Is she?
So the big week next week.
It is a big
Will
week.
you be How will you be waiting? Will you be prepared?
I'm trying to be cool about it because I'm really quite
Quite a fan.
I'm really quite smitten by her. And
What is it about her that you?
she's an amazing kisser. The way she kissed me just knocked me for 6.
Tell me about it.
I don't know what it was about. I felt like I'd never been kissed like that before. It was incredibly tender, and I just felt love exuding from her. There was something really special about her kiss. I said, wow. And she said, what?
That's what I do every time.
And I went, that kiss was amazing. And she says, well, it takes 2, My kiss is only as good as yours. And I went, if my kiss is as good as that, I'm a happy man.
That's lovely.
I was like,
Do you think honestly, like greatest kiss of your life?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's nice to hear that, you might have to wait till 63 to get the best kiss of your life.
yeah, there you go. It was that good. I mean, I was totally in love with the mother of my children. She never kissed me like that.
How did you meet in the first place?
Hinge. Dating app. I'm slightly embarrassed to say. I know I shouldn't
Why?
be because
Why are you embarrassed to say that?
I don't know. I can't explain that. There's something about it that doesn't sit well. But I've met so many nice girls
Well, I just think
that
it's just a vehicle to people to
Yeah,
meet. And then once
there
you
you
meet it,
Yeah,
it's
Hinge-
not like it does the date for you.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
What's on your profile here? What do you say about yourself?
I'm quite coy, really. I don't give away too much. I just put loads of photographs. If you like, as many as I think there's 6 that you're allowed.
Okay. What are your photos of?
No selfies.
Are there any other people in the photos? Or all just
No, just me.
You should put one photo. Maybe me and you do one photo now, and then we'll put it on the same.
I won't do it. I won't put it on.
Are they quite kind of posy photos? Are they quite relaxed?
Me?
Yeah.
There's one that I like most was I'm at a wedding in France. It's in profile, and I'm talking to somebody in front of me. There's another one with a dog, with my friend who I dog sit quite often.
Oh, that's a classic. Getting the dogs in.
Get the dog, absolutely.
Yeah, big fave.
Yeah.
Especially if the dog's cute.
Yeah, and the dog is cute.
I do.
There's another one of me. No, there is one with somebody else. It's me and a mate, Delroy.
Oh.
We're on tour and we're in a dressing room and we're dancing to a I think it's a Whitney Houston tune whilst we're brushing our teeth.
Oh, fun. That's a
it.
fun shot.
Yeah,
so you
that's
have got
it.
one friend shot.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Hinge.
So it works. And so,
Kind
so
of, yeah.
Virginia.
I never would have met Virginie. Yeah.
So if she comes,
Yeah.
the great kisser,
Yeah.
next week,
Yeah.
how are you trying to move it forward? I mean, are you just trying to get your kisses in while you can?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not trying to go, look, let's, can you come every month or whatever? Or,
Oh yeah, I might. Yeah,
Okay,
I might.
you're just kinda-
I'll see how it goes. I mean, I've only spent. We met at about 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, and the following morning, I think she was on a plane back to Lyon. And we haven't seen each other since. So we spent the night together, and then she'd gone just after lunch on the following Sunday. We've spoken a lot on the phone since. So.
Oh, you spoke a lot on the phone. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was imagining she was a bit of a mysterious force. Only just,
No.
Oh, so you know plenty about her.
I should call her tonight, and find out whether she definitely is coming.
Oh, that's interesting. How? So so you're talking a lot, but then she's not turning up. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think neither do I. So there is. You're right about the mystery. There is a little bit of mystery with her.
Yeah. What do you know?
She's a teacher. She's a one-to-one teacher. And she likes to drink.
She likes a drink.
Quite a lot of drinks.
Okay. How many drinks?
She's a big drinker.
Really?
Drank me under the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. And whenever I was kind of like, should we go now? She'd be like, nope,
Oh.
let's go and let's go in here. And I go, oh really? Okay, let's go in here. So it was great fun. We had a great time.
So you
But
got
it was
drunk?
like, yeah, and she
Is
wasn't.
this you did your love making after this? Can be quite complicated, no?
No, it was fine. Luckily, yeah. Oh, it's gone personal, hasn't it? Oh, shit.
Well, it's all anonymous, you know.
Yeah, but then people will go, I know that voice. You know who that is?
Bob and Bob. Are you
Yeah,
famous?
It's Bob and Bob, yeah. That's
you-
Bob.
do you
That's
consider
Bob.
yourself famous?
Bob's talking to Bob. No, I think that.
Have you ever been recognised in the street?
Oh yeah, it's usually after you've been in something. You'll get somebody that'll just look at you, stare at you, and then point at you, like that. Quite aggressive. It's quite aggressive. And then somebody might come and say, did I see you in Crime Watch or whatever it was?
Star of Crime Watch.
I've seen you loads in Crime Watch.
That's Crime Watch. You ever been up for an award?
Oh yeah, I have been up for an award. I've been up for a few. I've been up for I did the Lion King
Were
Standard
you the
Award.
lion?
No, I was Timon. Also, I did another play in the West End, and that won the Evening Standard Award for
Fantastic.
best comedy.
Okay.
I was also for. Let me get my awards in.
Yeah, sorry. never cut off on a man
Yeah.
detailing his
He's
awards.
in the middle of it. He's telling. You have to remember,
Yeah.
I didn't win any of these. Oh no, I did. The comedy award that one.
It was a group. It was a group one. You didn't get your own little statue.
I've never held a trophy aloft and gone. Thank you, Mum. That's what it would have been, wouldn't it?
You would have
Thank
said that,
Mum.
wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I would have told them. That would have
So
been
tell
my
the story.
That would have been my acceptance speech,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Big man. Anyone else you would have thanked apart from Mum? We just total focus on Mother.
Yeah, it would all be about Mum.
Yeah. Not your dad. Your dad got his. You know, he made love to your mother. Made you.
I could say that.
I mean, without that, you're not here.
Yeah, so I would thank my dad.
Yeah.
You're right. I would thank my dad for having it off with me, Mum.
Do you know about your conception at all? Do we know about how that happened? No.
No, I don't know anything. I've been having cranio.
What's that?
It's when these very clever people hold your head and try and cure you of certain certain ailments. that
Clever
you've got.
people hold your head.
Yeah, like, you know,
What do you mean?
cranio,
Like you just.
have you not heard of cranio?
No.
It's a kind of, it's a healing thing. Anyway, I got talking to this girl down here.
Yeah.
Because I suffer from vertigo.
Okay.
And
Vertigo is the one where you just feel a bit dizzy and imbalanced and stuff. Right?
yeah, it can be really quite awful. It can make you feel quite nauseous,
Yeah.
or very nauseous sometimes, and dizzy and disorientated when you get it bad. And she said, "Would you be a case study?"
Oh, wow.
So I was like, "Oh wow, that's
serious.
That's free cranio."
Yeah.
But it's,
So you put your head in her hands.
Oh yeah, I put my head in her hands, and also she starts with the feet.
Oh. What's it like for you?
It's very soothing. It's quite beautiful, actually. It's quite a beautiful thing. I remember a long time ago, my son was struggling, and when he was a toddler, his immune system was down, and things weren't working out for my boy. He was an unhappy baby, and somebody suggested cranio. We went to this charity cranio thing. This room was extraordinary. There was people who were really, there were children who were really, really struggling in there with all sorts of bodies that were kind of like stiff. And when these extraordinary people put their hands on these children's heads, they suddenly calmed, and all the tension went out of their body, and it really was quite. It was like a miracle, and it helped my boy. I've never forgotten it.
When does this vertigo kind of come on?
Scrolling, if you scroll too much with your phone.
God, classic.
If you look too fast, left, right, I'm very careful now not to.
Go to the tennis.
Yeah, I mean that would be
It would be hell.
That would be crap, especially
Especially if they were playing quickly.
that would be rubbish. You're absolutely right.
Or if you watched, I don't know, Formula One or something.
Yeah,
Live.
Formula
You'd have
One. No, on the
problems.
telly. Do you know when you get certain angles? Because I watch Formula One. I'm a big
Oh,
fan.
you're a fan? Okay.
No, I'm not a fan of Formula One. I'm a fan of Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Just Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah,
Why are you such a fan of Lewis Hamilton?
I think he's an extraordinary man.
Really? Tell me. I mean, no, sorry. That sounded like I was not in agreement. I just don't know enough about Lewis Hamilton to have an opinion. Can you tell me why he's brilliant?
I don't really know that much about him anyway. But
Well, you said he's an
here I
extraordinary
go.
man.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't make sense.
Make
at
it
all.
make sense. Let's try and make it make sense.
Yeah. The fact that what I think is probably a very rich and white orientated sport,
Yeah.
and he became the most successful ever. He's standing up for the people on the Gaza Strip. I like the fact that he's done that. I love his style.
Yeah. These are all very reasonable reasons.
He seems to be he seems to me to be a really good man.
Nothing about his actual racing there. Just to him as a man.
Yeah, really.
So you don't mind it, not about his moves or his
I
overtakes
love
or
him.
anything.
I think he's no, because I got into Formula One because I liked him.
Really? How interesting. I just
never would have. He's a very.
I never
cool
would have
man.
guessed that. This is the beauty about talking to people.
I'm a big fan, yeah, as you can, as you've heard.
Earlier you said you were in love with the mother of your children.
Oh yeah, I did then. Not anymore.
not anymore,
No,
right.
We've been separated for 20, 23, 24
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
What was that separation like?
Oh, dreadful. God. Yeah.
Why was it so dreadful?
First of all, being separated from her, my children, and my home.
Whose idea was it?
Hers. She wanted to be with somebody else. Didn't want to be with me anymore.
Oh.
Who can blame her? But it was just kind of heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Make
How did she
it
tell you out of
easy.
interest? Not to ask you too many painful questions, but how was it broken to you? Do you remember what you were doing, where you
It
were?
was a Saturday morning. I got 2 shows that day. We were in bed and I said something about our relationship has become so cold. And I think that she'd been wanting to say to me that it's time that we called it a day. And then she jumped on that and she said, I want to split up. And then my world caved in.
You didn't want to.
No. Tried to persuade her otherwise. And then she was determined. She was already seeing somebody.
When did you find out about that?
Oh, much later. And I left and I went to stay with a friend about 2 miles down the road, thinking that the sooner I left, the sooner she'd miss me and want me back. But she never did.
Yeah.
But she's with a really good man now, and my children are grown up, and they've got a pretty good relationship with her. They've got a good relationship with me, and so I'd say that things are pretty good.
What was doing those 2 shows like on Saturday?
Oh, they're dreadful. But having said that, it was the only time that really I was able to the rest of the time. It was all consuming. But when I was on stage, that was all consuming. And then when I was
a saviour.
Yeah, it was.
If we go back to that Saturday morning,
Yeah.
and I tell you in retrospect, knowing what you know now,
Yeah.
you can do one thing differently from that moment onwards, what would you do differently?
During the separation.
During the entire separation, from that moment onwards?
I would probably show less of my grief to my children. My daughter, just this May, was a birthday party. Lots of her friends were there, and her mum was there, and I was there, and her mum's boyfriend was there, who is now her husband. And my daughter said, I wish you hadn't shared so much with me. And I went, oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't think that I had, but obviously she said so. And the only excuse I had, alibi I had, was that I did turn to you, I think, because you were there, and because sometimes I was so upset that I couldn't not. Being upset is spontaneous. It's not something that you've got control of. So maybe she saw things that she wished she hadn't seen, you know? I remember her words. You said, you could have protected me more, or something like that, she said. But in the same breath, she said, it's all right though, Dad.
She understood.
Yeah.
How old were they when
they
it
were
was
like
opening?
they were like 3 and 4.
Oh, right, tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
So hang on. So she, what age is she? She's talking about being that age.
Well, the next,
However long.
yeah. I mean, you're picking up children, organising things. I mean, it never ends. There was a time when both of them individually said to me, when they were young adults, they said, "Don't pick up the phone to her anymore. She hurts you. Say to her, from here on in, it's text or email."
Why do they say that to you?
Because they saw me. They saw the distress that she used to bring to me.
And is that because you're still in love with her?
Well, she would continually tell me that I'd get things wrong. That that I was a bad father. That you should have done this. You should have done that. Why didn't you do that? Your son didn't. You didn't do this. You didn't. And why the hell didn't you do? I need more money. Why didn't you? It was always. I was always in trouble. Yeah. Always in trouble with her, and obviously, the children heard bits of it. Damn it. So they were witness to it, and they said, "Don't pick up the phone anymore. You take away people's sanity by continually telling them that they're not good enough." And that's what she did.
Sounds like it's really taken a kind of, at least the way you talk about it, it sounds like it's really taken a chunk out of you.
Yeah, it did.
Is that a fair assessment?
It did, yeah. I still loved her, and I loved our house. I loved the family. The whole thing was, I felt very alone very quickly.
It's easy to forget that, when people think of a divorce or whatever it is, a breakup, they think, just about the couple splitting up or whatever, but you forget all the stuff like the house and the kind of principles of a life set up, with others, that then it's just gone.
Taken away.
All the routines and the little things.
All gone. All gone.
That's a lot,
It's a new life very quickly, a new life, and a life that you don't want.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you down here.
I have been down here once before.
So
you might have seen me walk about.
You interviewed a girl.
Yes. Correct. And it was just over there.
It was just over there, yeah, I remember that.
She's episode 40.
Wow, well done.
She was great. And there was a seal that day popping up.
Yeah,
And,
that happens. Did you ever hear the story of the? It's not a story; it's a fact.
Well, it still could be a story.
Humpback whale.
Well, there's one here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got a friend, Justin. I wasn't a friend at the time. I knew Justin. I was deep into a book. And Justin came along and poked his head by the book and went, "Sorry to disturb, but I thought you'd probably like to know. There's a whale." And I went, "Fuck off." And I looked out, and sure enough,
Yeah.
about halfway between here and the horizon, a humpback whale breached. And I went,
Quite loudly.
yeah. And it must have breached about, I don't know, 12, 15 times between there and there.
Amazing. How long was it hovering about for?
I reckon a good half an hour.
What a sight. See, if you stay here long enough, you see everything.
Yeah, well, I've seen also my favourite bird. I love cormorants. And I was sitting down further up where it's less busy earlier on today, and there was a cormorant fishing in front of me for ages. I don't know much about cormorants either, but I just know I like them. It went over to one
Like
of the
Lewis
groins.
Hamilton.
Yeah. Cormorants and Lewis Hamilton, man. Those two. I don't know anything about them, but I love them.
What's to come in your life then? What have we got to sort out?
What's to come? I've just done a demo for a game. It's an alternate reality where Napoleon Bonaparte, he won the Battle of Waterloo, and he's now taken over the rest of the world. I think this is what the game is. I'm not a gamer, so I
Game?
don't really know.
It's a video game?
Yeah. it's
Oh,
an
hang on. So you're
Xbox.
playing the voice of someone?
I've been doing the voice of
Napoleon?
Bonaparte. Do you want to hear a little bit of Napoleon? I can play you a recording, which
Yeah,
will be
do.
quite interesting.
This is you as Napoleon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see if I can get it.
Great.
Soldiers,
That's right.
the government owes you a great deal.
Wow. That's you.
Your patience and courage do you honor, but give you neither worldly goods nor glory.
No glory.
I shall lead you onto the most fertile plains on earth. Peoples of Europe, the French army comes to break your chains. The French nation
You've had enough, haven't you?
I mean,
receive us with
it should
trust.
go forever. I particularly like the way you said glory.
Glory.
Glory. I was going to ask, what were you going to say? Yeah, when I said what's going to happen in the rest of your life, you answered with the Napoleon role. But if we're not talking about work, this ego of yours which is dying and all that, kind of what's going to happen in the rest of your life?
I don't know. I mean, I've got health issues. So,
are you dying?
I could be dying. I had a biopsy on my prostate the other day
Oh.
to find out whether the cancer that I've got there is growing. On Tuesday, I'm getting a test result from a biopsy that might
Be a
have
moment.
something to do with the rest of my life. I've had this condition for 10 years, but it's been
What's the condition?
prostate cancer.
Oh, okay. So you've just been living with it.
Yeah, and it's been so little that it's been fine.
So you worried?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not losing sleep,
Oh, that's good.
so I can't be that worried. I think I'm quite positive about it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right.
Great. I mean, is there an argument for saying, even if they say to you everything's as is, you should be doing the things that you should be doing if they say you had a year to live? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, good point.
And what are those things? What would be your kind of first thoughts?
Oh, I'd get involved with more things. I'd see my friends more. I'd travel more. I'd stalk my kids more. I'd be more demanding about seeing them. I'd be quite a lot more active, I think.
So potentially a big moment on Tuesday, but who knows? Could also be
Yeah,
not a
it
big
could
moment.
be. Yeah.
But it's good to have these moments to consider what we're doing in our lives. No?
Yeah.
Sometimes?
Yeah, here.
What haven't I asked you?
I don't know. We've done
covered quite a lot of ground.
We've done quite a lot, haven't we? Actually, we've done
That's-
a lot about my family. We've done a lot
Yeah.
about my career. We've done a lot about the best kisser on the planet.
All your awards.
My awards. We could talk about what my awards were.
Him again.
Let's go
Brilliant.
back. Let's go back.
Let's just go back
my
in more
non-awards.
detail.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
If I ask you, you know how sometimes one remembers things from, I don't know, a long time ago or whenever, and it's a memory you don't know why you remember, but you do. Can you think of something that springs to mind?
I used to do a milk round. And it's kind of neither here nor there, but it stayed with me. It haunted me for quite a while. And it made me closer to my brother. I've lost a brother through suicide. It's not that, but it's. There was a time when another brother, he was unhappy, and I didn't know how unhappy he was. And we weren't a family that really talked about our feelings so much. If we had, maybe my brother didn't do what he did to himself. But my other brother, he was in the Merchant Navy, going all over the world, and I just thought it was a brilliant life he was leading. And he kind of touched on the fact that he didn't like it to me. And I was dismissive of it, and was like, nah, it's brilliant, you do this, you do that, it's great. And then he just would go quiet. And then I remember I was walking down this road to the farm to start the milk round, 5:30 in the morning, and my dad was taking my brother to Liverpool to get the boat to go wherever it was going to go. And it was kind of dawning on me, this was bad for my brother. And I remember my dad was driving at the time, rather groovy little sky blue Triumph Dolomite. I loved this car.
Yeah.
And he was in this car and he was driving along, and my brother just turned and put his hand flat like that to say goodbye. And I could tell that he was distraught just through that wave. And I thought, damn, I should have listened to him. It was just inconsequential, this wave that he just did. I don't know why that came into my mind.
Yeah, well, it's just a small movement, isn't it? But you knew it so well.
Yeah. And it makes me emotional thinking about it, so it must have been quite massive, actually.
Yeah.
And it bonded me and him somehow, because I've never forgotten it. And I think our relationship grew from there, really. And we're pretty close now, me and my brother.
I feel like I should ask about your brother that died by suicide.
Right. He had a traumatic time, and he ran away to the Netherlands to work. When he went, it was at a time when then I was going to drama school. It was kind of big time for me, as well as a big time for him. We went our separate ways. I didn't make an effort to see him. He didn't make an effort to see me, and that was that, really. And he couldn't take it anymore. Whatever he was going through, he couldn't take it anymore, and so he did away with himself.
What impact did that have on your life after that?
The biggest thing was that I wasn't there for him, so I will always carry that. I wasn't close enough to him for him to reach out. And then I kind of look back and I kind of wish that I'm not saying that I could have prevented him doing what he did, but it would have been reaching out is kind of being there for somebody, right?
Yeah.
So that impacted me greatly, was the fact that I wasn't there for my brother. And that immediately when I was told, that was the weight that hit me straight away.
my last. I think we've covered a lot of ground. You ready for the last question?
Yep.
Either answer this in a now kind of way, or a grander kind of way. However you want to do it, you can do it. What are you going to do next?
It's going to be more of the same, really. There's not going to be anything dramatic, unless maybe on Tuesday, if I find out something really bad, then my life might change dramatically. That could be something quite big that could happen. That's a huge cat.
The owner pulled it back.
Did you see that cat? Look at the size of that cat. Is it just me, or is that a huge cat?
I'm glad you noticed it. 'Cause as you were talking, I thought that's a huge cat. But I thought I can't interrupt your big last closing statements with huge cat. So you did it for me. So fantastic. And also, you don't see a cat at a beach.
No.
You know?
Yeah, weird.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Good, mate.
You've been really good. I really enjoyed it.
That was good fun. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
There we go. Done.
Goodbye.
I'm not sure if I want next week to come around. I could well be dying. I think that I'll be alright. But if I do give up the ghost, well, I had a good run around, won some awards, raised some good kids, and I've just had the world's best kiss, and I do it all again. I'm not sure if I want next week to come around. My time may be up, but I'm hoping I'll be alright. But if I do turn up my toes, I hope everyone knows that I won some awards, raised some good kids, and I've just had the world's best kiss, and I would do it all again. I would do it all again. I would do it all again.